just got some big news in as it pertains to Ripple and XRP. We've got not one, but two different things I want to get on your radar. And while we talk about this, keep in mind, guys, 99% of the world has no idea what is going on with this digital asset XRP. And that is why I believe we will become the new 1%. If you like talking about Ripple and XRP, type an X in the comment section, smash that like button, and let's get straight into it. Now, one of these stories you've maybe heard, one you probably haven't, but we're going to go down the rabbit hole on both. And again, talking about while we will create wealth from this digital asset XRP. Now, Brian Armstrong, who's the CEO of Coinbase, many of you are familiar with who he is. He put out a post here today talking about a new partnership that they just got, stating, "It's not a debate anymore. Crypto and stablecoins are the tools that will update the global financial system." I think we can all agree and attest to the fact that this new financial system, as we call it, will be upgraded with stablecoins and crypto. And he further wrote, "Excited to be collaborating with Citibank to work on improving stablecoin utility and digital asset adoption with their clients." Now, Citibank. Some of you may be wondering, well, what does this have to do with Ripple and XRP? It has a lot to do with Ripple and XRP, because if we back up to 2022, right, we know that Citibank partnered directly with Medico. Medico was bought in 2023 by Ripple for $250 million. $250 million is what Medico was bought for by Ripple. So Ripple now owns Medico, right? So we get the point. Coinbase just threw their hat into a partnership that Citibank and Ripple have essentially established. And so we see the direction in which this is going, and Swift has a big problem. And here today it was put out by CoinDesk, which I'm not really a huge fan of CoinDesk, right? But whatever, they put out news that sometimes is relevant to what we're talking about. In this case, it definitely is. And Western Union is piloting stablecoin settlement rails to speed up cross-border payments and cut reliance on Swift. In fact, the CEO came out here today stating, "We see stablecoins as an opportunity, not a threat." Now, why is this important, and why does this have anything to do with Ripple and XRP? See, Western Union's been working with Ripple for a long time now, doing pilots on the XRPL, and International Money Express is actually directly partnered with Ripple and Western Union. And so the roots run deep and run wide. In fact, I'm going to put a couple articles in the description below, one from 2021 talking about the pilots that were going on back then, right? We're looking at almost 5 years now, Western Union and Ripple working together. And even an article back in 2022 wrote, Western Union CEO confirmed the active exploration of Ripple's blockchain technology as well as its native token XRP. So we get the idea, we get the fact, right? Not the idea, the fact that they've been working with Ripple and XRP for a long time. So as we see in just a couple of days, guys, more interest rates coming, a law eventually coming. Who knows exactly when we are going to say that this government shutdown is finally out of the way and behind us. I think it is so blatantly obvious to us, right? What is going on right now? That infrastructure that's being built out, and XRP being that digital asset, as Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, has recently said, being in the middle of it all. See, they are making these acquisitions right now to completely dominate the space of payments, and tokenization will be dominant largely by Ripple as they go forth and putting just about everything you can think of, derivatives, real estate, right, all on the XRPL. And who's to gain the most? Us, right, as early adopters. Because if you're in right now, as we see the price of XRP sitting right now at $2.68, dirt cheap. I think we're going to look back in time when we hit $100, which I believe is 100% inevitable. I've stated many times that we're going to much, much higher prices than that. I think there's going to be a time when we look back and think that $100 was dirt cheap, because what we're on the brink of right now is complete takeover of the financial system, with Ripple and XRP being the heartbeat of it all. And this isn't speculation. We see, you and I that are researching this stuff and seeing this stuff and what's happening in real time, we can clearly see exactly what's happening. It may not always reflect in the price of XRP, as we're up 2.6% today. Big deal, right? Not up a big amount here today, but we can see clearly what is being rolled out in front of us with this new financial system. And again, there is a reason why I have chosen to essentially go all in on XRP, opposed the rest of the space. I know many people that have got into meme coins, been rug pulled, or got into scams in this space, which are plentiful. But the fact of the matter is, XRP and Ripple are not. And people will hate, they will FUD, they will call this a scam, they can say whatever they want, but the facts are right here in front of us. We see the partnerships, we see who they're acquiring, we see the treasury companies. We know that the biggest and best institutions out there are creating products, ETFs, for XRP specifically, opposed to the rest of the market. And so, what more do people need to see? Price action? Because right now, we're still up 421% since the election. Just imagine where we're going to be a year from now when all this goes live. Just imagine where we're going to be even this year, by the end of this year, when all of this goes live. We're not going to be sitting in single digits forever, guys. We're going to 3-4 digits and higher, and I don't think many people really disagree on that at this point in time. And yesterday, I had someone say to me, well, you're just saying all this because you want it to pump so you can dump on us. To think that I'm going to sell this digital asset, anything under $1,000, is insanity. There's going to be buyers at $10, $20, $50, $100 plus, right? There's always going to be a buyer. But those that got in early on this digital asset like we are, that is going to eventually be somewhat of a dying breed, right? Because people are going to start selling at certain price targets. And again, I would never tell you not to take profits, not to sell if you want to sell and utilize that for certain things. But we have to understand what's coming in the market. Ways to generate yield, passive income, so we can hold our digital assets, right? Create passive income, but then allow ourselves to keep this asset that has finite supply that's not going to fall off the face of the earth. It's going to outlive us all. And it's going to be an asset that we can pass down, create generational wealth for our kids, their kids, and so forth. And so, again, this is the opportunity, and that is why I spend day in, day out doing these videos, talking about XRP, not just to waste my time or your time, because I honestly believe, and having been in the financial markets for over 10 years, starting in the stock market, then going into the cryptocurrency market, I fully 100% believe that this is the best opportunity out there. Those are my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know yours in the comment section below, guys. As always, I appreciate your time and support. We'll see you all in the next one.